Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Smart Money, where this time I will be talking about dividend investment more in detail. Last video I covered how it works overall, but this time around I will go into more details explaining what a dividend is, why would companies pay dividend, and what are the upsides and downsides of dividend investment. Now, again, this is not a financial advice, but if you do learn something new, please consider liking this video, subscribing, and sharing it with your friends who might be interested. So, a dividend is what some of the companies listed on the stock exchange market would pay back to their investors as kind of like a thank you, and it would be per share. For example, Coca-Cola, right now as I'm recording this video, they are paying 42 cents per share that you would hold with them every quarter, which means 3 months. As you can see here, this is the history of my dividend payment that I received from the companies I invested in. Now, some of them have already increased the amount that they are paying back to the shareholders, which is great. So I have kept on reinvesting it in my portfolio, which allowed me to get even more dividends on the next time they would pay back to me, which is creating a snowball effect. The more they would pay, the more I would reinvest, and that would allow for me to get paid even more. So literally, your money is doing all the work for you. It's working 24/7 for you. While you're sleeping, you're earning money this way, which is great because I love earning money when I'm sleeping, right? Everybody does. And if you do keep this up more and more, you will get more returns from your investment to be able to reinvest, to get more returns, reinvest more, get more returns. You see, it's like a vicious cycle which leads one to another, one to another. You would get more returns, reinvest more. It's great. So now that we covered what a dividend is, why would companies pay this dividend? Now, why wouldn't they use it to reinvest in their own company? Now, there are few possibilities, few reasons why this could happen. One of it, which is they are legally bound to do so, and the other one is that they don't have any room to grow any further. Like, can you imagine Coca-Cola coming up with a brand new, groundbreaking invention? I don't think so, right? Coca-Cola has already made their name, their brand, they're famous as it is, and what they do, they are one of the best in what they do, right? So they don't need that much money to reinvest in their company. They just need to keep their popularity, keep producing the same products, and they do pay this dividend back to its shareholders as a thank you, like I just mentioned. Now, dividend investing is not without a risk. It's never guaranteed that they will pay dividends. They're paying dividends because they want to say thank you, right? But if they can't afford it, for example, if they found something else to improve on, to, I don't know, brand new invention or something, then they could cut their dividends altogether. For example, one of the companies that did that most recently is Walt Disney. Now, we all know Walt Disney, and they have been doing quite well recently because they cut their dividends, because they are using that money to reinvest in their company, so that allows them to grow further, come up with streaming services, new TV shows, maybe movies, whatever. So it does allow them to grow further because they have cut their dividends. Now that will lead to my last point, which is what are the downsides of dividend investment. For example, the companies, like I just mentioned, Disney paying dividends, that doesn't allow them to grow any further. So their stock prices would probably remain around the same, grow a little bit, but it wouldn't dramatically go up to 100% or whatever. it would gradually, slowly increase as they are paying their earnings, some of it back to the shareholders. While paying some of the earnings back to its shareholders is attractive to the investors, cutting down the dividends can also be very attractive to the shareholders. Because, for example, SeaWorld Entertainment, one of Disney's biggest rivals, cut their dividends completely 5 years ago. And since then, they have quadrupled their share prices. So you can imagine how they could reinvest their earnings back into their company, which allowed them to grow exponentially faster. And they skyrocketed in their share prices, which allowed their investors to have bigger returns. Now, this doesn't mean that every company that stops paying dividends will have a jump like that in their share prices. So definitely go in it with some research, do it thoroughly, and make sure that you are ready for the risks that it will come with. Again, this is not a financial advice. You do your own research, you're risking your own money. Please be prepared. The way I have been handling the stress of the stock market is knowing that I have 6 to 8 months of money as a cushion in my bank. Just if something goes wrong, terribly wrong, I lose my job and I can't have any earnings, let's say for the next 8 months, I will still be okay. Hopefully by that time I will find a job. But yeah, if I do lose my job, I have something as a cushion for 8 months, so I don't rely on the stock market, so I don't panic when I see ups and downs of the stock market, which will happen. Like, even if you are the smartest investor ever, there will be ups and downs. You can never know what will happen in the stock market. Some war happens in a different country and it affects the whole market. You can't plan for anything such as that. Like COVID, nobody could have planned for it, but it happened. Stock market crashed, but you can use it as a, let's say, advantage to yourself. It's a good time to invest when stock market goes down. So if it's a constant money flow that you're constantly investing in, you're buying at the low and the high, it doesn't matter really. It will keep it on the average. Keep with that mentality that what you buy will go down and will go up eventually, hopefully. But yeah, it will go up and down, right? So don't be alarmed. It's just what stock market does. I also wanted to give a peek at what I'm doing right now to explain my strategy better. I have roughly 24k US dollars invested already and 3.5k US dollars as cash in my stake portfolio because I want to be ready for the next market crash, which the economists have been sounding the alarm for months. Now, there is nothing we can do about market crashes. It happens every now and then, but we can take advantage of it by investing when it's down. I have no idea when this crash will happen, but I'm a patient man. I am ready to take full advantage of it when it does happen, which is why I'm not scared of it. Instead, I am looking forward to it. Now, these companies are not gonna grow as much as the other companies which wouldn't pay dividends to its shareholders because they are using it to reinvest in themselves. But I am completely fine with that. This is the way that makes sense to me. Now you do your own research, you choose what suits you best, and you stick to it, right? If you think Bitcoin is better, by all means go for it. Maybe you will choose typical growth stocks like Disney, which used to be a dividend stock, but now they're actually getting some good growth in there. So it completely depends on you. I would again recommend you to do your own research and be prepared when you're going into investment. But overall, guys, this is it from me. If you guys did enjoy this video, learn something new, please consider subscribing and liking this video, and I will see you guys next time.